And welcome back to another episode of DissidiAcademy, or DissidiAcademy, however you want to say it. Today's episode will be recorded a little bit differently than the other ones because I feel like it's a better format for today's lesson, or today's topic, which is the do's and don'ts of teamwork. This is definitely one of the more complex topics like dashing was, except I want to keep it a little more simple this time with do's and don'ts. Lift them off and see how it goes from there. Hopefully this format will be a little bit better for this episode. If you guys have any questions, of course, always put them down in the comments below. If anything I say is not clear in this episode, just ask below and I'll explain as best as I can. Or if you have any other questions I didn't cover, go ahead and put them in below. I just want to say it first for this episode because it's going to be a little bit different. Okay, now, let's start with the do's. The background footage is about to show us landing 3 HP attacks in quick succession, and then I start saying summon away. So usually during these moments, people will say to summon, and if they're smart in the head, you should probably summon too, because most of these times when they say to summon is usually a safe moment for at least one person on the team. Hopefully they take account of the other players. If they fuck up, they'll say, I didn't mean to say that. But when it's time to summon, make sure to summon. Team summons are much faster and much more safe than summoning individually. And as you can see, because Noctis took forever to summon in the background, I actually get HP attacked right here because I didn't dodge out of the way in time. Now, if he actually did start summoning when I said to, we would have been in a better position, or at least I would have been in a better position and not getting HP attacked. Just try to dash backwards and hit that touchpad for that quick, easy summon with your entire team. Now, I'm not saying summon when they say to summon if it's dangerous. That point, you can't always monitor everybody in your team. Sometimes things get a little bit lost in translation. You might be in danger and they're telling you to summon. And during those moments, you just run. You avoid danger, all that stuff. Because most of the time, I see a lot of players just summon, and they'll keep summoning, and they won't stop when they realize they've messed up their summoning time. They'll just keep trying to force it, even if it's not really practical for their 2 team members. So during those moments, unless your teammates are smart and they'll stop and try to help you, you just gotta run. You can't help them summon. Don't stop and try to help them summon at all. So I guess that's technically a don't. Don't summon stupidly, but do try to summon with your team. If you're gonna learn at least one thing from this video, make sure it's that. Next up, do stick with your teammates. Don't stand right on top of each other. As you can see here, Noctis and Terra both give me an HP regen as I'm laying on the floor after getting hit with an HP attack, unable to move. And this is because they're able to just run back to me, quickly do it, and then go back into the fight. Another example here, because we're all close to each other, Noctis is able to corner off Ultimecia while I try to hold him off the 2 other players from the team. It only lasted about a second or so, but that second or so actually got Noctis a little bit more bravery and lowered Ultimecia's. These little advantages you can get from sticking together will eventually accumulate to a victory, as you can see here. By sticking together, you can essentially be a glorified decoy for those people with more bravery on your team, and then hopefully they'll do the same back for you when you have enough bravery to land a kill, or so on and so forth. This might require you to split off from your group directly to go distract the enemy from the side or whatever, but as long as you're a moderate distance from each other, meaning that you can dash over each other within a second or so, you're good. Ideally, you really don't want to be more than 2 seconds away from your teammates, because if you get caught by yourself without them and the enemy team just drops on you, they can just erase you for a ton of bravery and then knock you away and then possibly even HP attack you and kill you, leaving you at a 1-stock disadvantage. You're spawning behind them. You have to respawn near them if you don't want to dash away back to your teammates, and it just becomes a whole mess. However, you don't want to be glued directly onto your teammates because then you might all get hit with an HP attack, but that's really it. Do be close to your teammates so that if you're not actively monitoring them 24/7, you can at least react and try to help them out of sticky situations. And likewise, do be near your teammates so that you can actually help each other out and get really creative team plays off. Or at least, just recover. Do set up a HP attack for your teammates. Pretty much any melee character can do this. All they have to do is do a melee combo but never actually complete it, like land the first couple of attacks but then stop it halfway through to let another teammate come and land an HP attack. Essentially what you're doing is being a virtual wall rush for the teammate. Now, this doesn't work a lot of the time. Hell, it barely works even 90% of the time. But that 10% of the time where it actually does work is just, again, like a free wall rush in the middle of the field. As players get better and better at defense, it gets harder and harder to land wall rushes because usually they'll guard your attacks, or at least they'll dodge out of the way and not get into a wall. So as a result of wall rushes being inaccessible for the most part, this becomes the most common way to land HP attacks. However, don't force this on your teammates. Most of the time they won't realize what you're doing. As you can see, Warrior right here just lands an HP attack eventually because I wasn't able to actually land my own HP attack, and it works. He didn't keep trying to force it. You especially don't want to try to force it, especially in dangerous situations like the one I am in this clip, where you're surrounded by enemies who can easily punish you at any moment. By the way, if that Cloud didn't have perfect defense on him right there, he would have gotten hit by that meteor from Terra. As you can also see here, a well-timed projectile can actually work as a setup as well. Keep practicing setups. I'd recommend doing it with some friends so they can actually react and try to help you out. and eventually become a natural part of your gameplay style, and hopefully other players as well. Do save your teammates from HP attacks. Don't use bravery attacks to do it, because most of the HP attacks in the game are not overwritten by bravery attacks, with very, very few exceptions. The only time it's worth it to actually use a bravery attack to stop an HP attack is when your bravery attack will break the opponent. And even at then, you're probably better off just using an HP attack instead, so your buddy doesn't end up falling on the floor for about 10 seconds, stunned. However, if you're too late, you know the HP attack won't land in time, just go for the bravery attack instead. And my final tip to you, learn how to use your character's voice chat commands to talk to the other players. So many players are silent, and then they say thanks when they die. Like, what were we supposed to do? You just rushed off ahead. You didn't tell us you were ready to go in for an HP attack. Or you weren't ready to attack. You gave us no warning. Use the communication wheels in the game to actually talk, please. People want to know what you're going to do before you do it. They can't watch you all the time, so hearing somebody say, "I'm going to attack now and kill them with my sword," is a lot more understandable than simply watching somebody dash directly to the enemy team. Pretty simple little last tip, eh? It goes miles, even if it only takes a couple button presses and requires no mechanical knowledge or skill of the actual game itself. Finally, let's review our do's and our don'ts. Do! Stick with your team. Set each other up for team play combos. Save each other from HP attacks with HP attacks. Summon together, and talk to each other. Now, onto the don'ts of teamwork. Don't literally stand right on top of each other. Don't keep trying to force a setup, especially in danger. Don't use bravery attacks to save each other from HP attacks. Don't ignore a summon request. And don't try to force a summon when you're in danger. And those are the basic building blocks of learning to work together as a team with your other two players. With these fundamentals in hand, you'll be able to learn how to do things like play defensively, play offensively, when to dive in, when to slowly approach together, when to fall back and heal, when to summon, when to defend, when to pop weird buffs, when to do weird shit, when to do standard stuff, when to 1v1, and when to return to your team. With these ideas in mind, hopefully keep them in mind while you practice this game, and as you try to force it onto your teammates, hopefully they'll learn what to do. Once you reach about Platinum E, Platinum C, players are doing this pretty much all the time, other than possibly setups. They really do try to help each other out most of the time, and they'll start summoning when you ask them to summon if you're safe. Sometimes they kind of force it and get killed as a result, but they will start working together as a team a little bit better. If you're in bronze to gold, don't worry, it really does get better. And if it isn't getting better, ask a friend to help you out. They're always willing to help. Don't have any friends? Don't worry. There's a ton of Dissidia communities out there, and one of them is especially right for you. Which one is it? I don't know. Leave a comment below if you're feeling lonely and you need some help. I'm sure I can get you some links to those Dissidia communities on Discord, so you can reach out to other players and join up with them. Anyways, I'm Blue the Hedgehog. I hope you guys become part of the community. I'm always trying to push for it, because I want to see people get better at the game and the community to get bigger. Anyways, I'll see you guys next month in the next episode of DissidiAcademy, or another episode of Blue the Hedgehog, or whatever. Maybe I'll even see you on my friends list on Steam, on Discord, or whatever. Have a nice night, or day, or afternoon, wherever you are. Bye-bye.